Hi, I'm Abe Ott. I'm from Durango, Colorado, and I'm 20 years old. I took 2 years off formal education and traveled and worked and things like that, and then came back to Principia. This is my freshman year, and I'm running cross country this fall and looking to get a major in business. So while I was in New Zealand, I worked on a 70,000 acre ranch down there with there's 4 or 5 of us that were full time there, and my main responsibility was with cattle and on the flat lands down there, and just worked every day building fence and moving animals, and did a lot of surveying of where the pasture is at the time, and then where we want it to be in the future, and helping regenerate the soil and build topsoil rather than destroy it, which is kind of the trend with a lot of agriculture these days. And so yeah, a lot of sustainability focus, and as well as caring for the animals and getting that final product. What I love about running so much is that it can be such an individual sport, because I don't know, whenever I'm feeling kind of in turmoil or have lost focus, whether that's in school or just in life, job, whatever, and wherever I go, whether it's New Zealand or I worked for a guiding business in Colorado as well, and every morning I'd just get out and go on a run, even if it was just a couple miles, and just really help me focus and prepare for the day. And I think that was the most important thing for me, is to really just have that time to myself. But then also, like, being on a team, it is a team sport, because you're all racing to improve your score overall. And if the person in first can win, and that's great, but if the person in fifth lets one guy pass him or passes another guy, that can totally change your score as a team. And so that team camaraderie, and I really feel like we have that here at Principia, is that everyone here is just looking out for each other all the time, and just that love and brotherhood and camaraderie is so infectious. And when you have to wake up at 6 in the morning after studying till 3 in the morning, it's really knowing that there's other people out there and supporting you is just really powerful. And so having the individual aspect and then the team combination is just really awesome. Like I said, I took 2 gap years and worked for guiding businesses, and worked in New Zealand, and then was a cross-country ski coach as well for one winter, and for my local team. And in high school, I was a terrible student. If I showed up to class, I showed up to class most of the time, but never did the homework, or rarely did the homework. And so kind of getting back into that college or into education was a little intimidating, but I think running's actually really helped with that, just because that mental discipline of even when no one's looking and you're out on a 10-mile run by yourself, you don't walk. Like, you just keep going, and waking up every morning and having that strength of character is really important for school, and applies to any point in life, because when it's 1 in the morning and you haven't started that essay because you were out with friends or had other school or whatever, having the courage and the discipline to do it is really powerful. And I think that's what I really found this start of the semester, and it's been really successful so far. As far as my background, I grew up on a ranch in Durango, Colorado, or ranch and farm. We had a wide variety of products, from pork to dairy to poultry to greens, and we had a restaurant and a market that we sell everything directly to the consumer from the farm. And I definitely grew up in that atmosphere, and so knowing where your food comes from, and we all eat at least 3 times a day, or a lot, and it's just so there's such a big disconnect for people as far as where their food is coming from, and so I'm really passionate about that. And our food system right now is totally broken, and like 2/3 of all the food we produce is then thrown away, which is just so sad when so many people need food. And so I'm really getting a business degree is for me just kind of a very general, safe degree to get, because being an entrepreneurial focus, I grew up running my own businesses, and I raised turkeys, and did the books, and had a profits and loss thing that I worked out, and my parents helped me obviously, but I think that's something that I've just had for a long time. And taking macroeconomics and all of these business courses is so fascinating to me, and I mean it's really applicable anywhere, but definitely when you're looking to run your own businesses and get that connection back to the people, and knowing where things come from is really important. So having that general kind of sense of how to, it's great to have all these ideas of, we should, get back and fix our food system and all that, but you have to be able to run the numbers and make it feasible. And so that's what I'm looking for. Have the concept, that's great, but how can you put it on paper? So that's what I'm looking forward to with my business. So so far I've really loved being here at Principia. Just the social aspect is really nice, because because it is a pretty small school, a lot of people know a lot of people, and so there's definitely a lot of you never walk into the dining room and don't see someone you recognize, and even if you don't, just sitting down with strangers, everyone asks you how your day was, and then you meet someone new and make a new friend. And I don't know, the environment here is really conducive to that, which is super nice. And I think class size actually is one of my biggest, because I'm really a people person, and I cannot imagine not having a connection with my professors, because for me that makes me more likely to really care and try when it comes to academics, because having that personal connection when there's 10 kids in a class instead of 100 or 1,000, and when you can come into their office or call them or email them or text them, whatever is necessary, they are there for you. And I think that is really important for me, because that connection makes it so much more real, and that's what you're going to get, or that's what I hope to get in real life, is to have working those personal connections. And then just, of course, the campus is really pretty, and there's just like I never thought a library would be my favorite place, but I love going to the library, and everyone's just there working, and it's just such the environment and people and is really, really special here.